how politically correct do you like your drug dealing simulators? All right, you have Schedule 1 in trouble here for using the term Indian dealer. Now, if you're not familiar, Indian dealer is an achievement you get when you sell someone drugs and then steal the drugs back out of their pocket at the end of your interaction with them. And so there is a group of streamers that have run across this during their playtime with the game and decided that it was so offensive, they are calling for the game to have it changed. They don't want Schedule 1 to be taken down, they want this either removed or renamed. And this is based off the term, or at least it's perceived to be based off the term Indian giver, which was the sort of a negative connotation toward the early interactions of European settlers and the tribal Americans who were living here. And so the situation that we all found ourselves in that regard was that the traditions of the tribal Americans did not coincide with the traditions of the Europeans in the sense of a gift. So when a gift is given in the European sense, it is meant to be held by the receiver permanently. There are times when you'll gift it on to someone else, but it is intended for this gift to either be of use or to be an object that is displayed or stored with care forever. All right. Now, for the Native Americans, gifts were more functional, and so they were a bit more like borrowing. They gave someone with the intent of using it again. That it was such a great thing that it's a communal sort of gift. Very different kind of attitude. And that's where the term Indian giver came from, in that the Native Americans had a different idea about how gifts work than the Europeans did. Right or wrong, that's how that term came to live. Okay. So now the term Indian dealer is born out of that as a joke mechanism. Now, I think that this is racist? No, I don't think that this is racist. I don't believe anyone sat down and deliberately decided to target Indian people. By Indian, you mean Native American, tribal American, however you like to say it. Hold it. It looks like 73% of you watching this aren't subscribed. Time to click that button. You know where to find it. The way that this comes down to like semantics is that if you choose to be offended over these things, you will be offended by them. It is a drug culture video game. A lot of things that happen in drug culture video games are not things that are brought up at church, that are not things that are brought up at civil rights meetings. They're not brought up at board meetings. They're not brought up at town hall meetings, okay? A lot of things that happen in drug culture are just simply that. They're part of drug culture, which means they're random, they're often really extreme in some of their expressions. And also, when it comes to marijuana, they tend to use colloquial terms, they tend to use slang phrases incorporated in the name, and also the descriptions of how you use these drugs. So, yes, Indian dealer would, of course, find its way into the vernacular of how people communicate sideways dealers, because this is how the terminology would find its way into drug dealing. You're not dealing with people who are on the up and up, okay? If you're playing Drug Dealer Simulator and Schedule 1 here, if you're playing these games with the intention of helping the societies that you are playing inside of, you're playing the game wrong. You're not supposed to. You're an enemy of the police for a reason. Your trailer blows up for a reason, okay? This is the problem with the like namby-pamby idea of all of this, is that, take a look at this. This is footage from Nogla's channel. About 2 weeks ago, he and his friends played Schedule 1. And in that one, you'll notice that Wildcat has a black player model. Well, there is a drug you can take that briefly changes your character's player model black, leaves their hair the same, but and their clothes, of course. It changes their skin color black as part of a explosion ritual, okay? So like a side effect, rather, an explosion side effect. Your character explodes. Of course, you respawn immediately. It's just how it works. But Marcel, however, you got basically over here in the purple shades and purple vest, he's taking another drug that changes his race.
How do you smoke it? You have to package it first? There we go.
No, you can just smoke it packaged or unpackaged.
Buy me McLovin,
Check it out. There it is, right here.
Oh, you went white. What, you
Your
got
head's
privilege.
getting bigger.
Yes, ego groove.
Yeah,
So I gotta ask you, I mean, like, are you more offended that you can swap races by smoking a doobie, if you will, a doobie will change your race, or are you more offended that a terminology that's older than all of us was warped into drug culture, right? Now again, This is not an achievement that is awarded to you for being a good person. It is an achievement awarded to you for being a good drug dealer. Good is in the sense of you get to resell that product and make the money again. You have to understand this is a drug culture video game. I'm not sure where people lost that plot. Maybe it's around like the garbage collection thing. Like I heard somebody's mom was playing Schedule 1 with them, and then her excuse was, well, if we get into trouble, I can always tell them that I've been collecting trash all day and I had nothing to do with all of your drug dealing. Great. That's obviously the object of the game, is to outsmart the police and the court that you're absolutely going to go to in the game about drug dealing. Anyway, again, like they added a taco tickler restaurant. Would we like to address the sexism around that? It is a taco that is presented up. There's this taco ticklers on it. It's right there. Do we want to talk about the sex of? No, of course not. It's a drug dealing simulator game. Its name is Schedule 1. It is front to back built to describe, well, rather simulate the environment of doing drugs. And these are not, it's not limited to marijuana. You're doing math, you're doing all sorts of terrible things in this game. And again, it's streamed everywhere. So odds are your 12-year-old, your 13-year-old seen it. Are we really so concerned that drug culture isn't, Boy Scouts for people who like chemistry? Are we, or like horticulture enthusiasts? Are we upset that the drug dealer simulator might actually simulate being a scum fuck, I'll just say it, being a scum fuck drug dealer? Maybe it's like that. Maybe it has those things in it. I'm not surprised. I'm honestly surprised there aren't more racist things in it. Hang around with people who do this stuff. Walk around with them. Learn their ways. They are not at all affected by politically correct culture. So when you go through this and you're creating this simulator, what do you want? Yeah, it's got a jokey art style. Yeah, some jokey things happen, but it is a drug dealer simulator. It is simulating the sale of drugs inside of drug culture. It uses drug lingo. It uses drug dealer lingo. You are an enemy of the police. I can't stress enough that this is a game to be a criminal, so you're going to do criminal things, and criminals tend to be, I don't know, a little hateful. They tend to be all kinds of phobic, whatever you'd like to stick in front of it this week, whatever Tumblr's telling you to stick in front of it. All right? So I'm sorry. I understand that there are people out there that want to feel offended about this, that for having fun of this game and then ran into something that reminded them of an incident in real world history that was not fun, okay? But it's a video game about dealing drugs. So you're going to run into a lot of other things that aren't kosher, bud, okay? Now, are you going to stick your nose up to that? Are we going to have a problem with a drug that makes you white? Are we going to have a problem with a drug that makes you black? Nobody said a damn word about it. In fact, you try to Google it, nobody's talking about it. But it's there. You just saw it with your own two eyes. Character changed race right in front of you. Ta-da! And so this is what we're experiencing with this conversation around this, is it seems like anybody who can kind of get a dig in on the popular thing this week are attacking the popular thing this week. What do you know? What a surprise. But as always, guys, you'll have to let me know down in the description below what you think about all this. Don't forget to go over and check out Schedule 1 over on Steam. As I said, it is a game about drug dealing, so don't expect to be, delivering cakes to grandma. It is very much engaged in, the criminal act of selling, dealing, and going around, generally just not being a good person. I mean, look at all these things. Like, there's lapis lazuli right there. You can't have lapis lazuli. That's not allowed.